so happy you're here. Today I want to show you how to make a collage. What is a collage, you may ask? A collage is a piece of art made by sticking different pieces of material on a background. Here are some examples I made for you. These are to give you ideas and inspiration for the final collage, which is going to be this one. The first collage I want to show you is made out of two easy materials, newspaper and one solid piece of paper. All I did was cut newspaper into squares and rectangles and glue it down with a glue stick. I would not recommend using wet glue. If you use wet glue, it will get very gobbly and bulky. If you only have wet glue, I would recommend using just a little bit with your fingers as a tool and applying it very gently and not too much. I would recommend a glue stick better, but both will work. The first thing you do to make this is just apply your newspaper on a square piece of paper. Have it go over all the edges and outside of the edges as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then draw your birds with a pencil on a piece of paper. Cut them out and glue them down. If you want to try something different besides birds, you can do a cat, you can do a silhouette of a dog, you can do the initial of your first name, whatever you want. The beautiful thing about collage is that you can be as creative as you want. There's no right and there's no wrong. Whatever makes you feel good and gives you inspiration is the way to go. After you complete your piece of paper with the newspaper, turn it around. I have a piece of board on the back so it will stand up nicely. All your edges will be sticking out, and that's okay because it's easy to work with when you're creating your collage. And when you're done, get your scissors, cut off your edges, and you will have these nice beautiful lines when you're done. The next collage that I want to show you that you could possibly make and that would inspire you is this one of a bird. The bird is right here. This collage uses a lot of texture. What is texture, you may ask? Texture is something that you can feel. The texture on this collage is very smooth, but the texture on this collage feels very different. I walked around the library and checked our arts and crafts cabinet, and I came up with burlap, pipe cleaners, straw, and buttons, and various shades of paper with different patterns on them. So with this collage, I had a lot of texture, different from this. I drew a bird, and then I cut the bird into pieces and traced it on a different colored pieces of paper. So that's why I have light newspaper, dark newspaper, and all my other various sheets of paper on here. I would recommend using a glue stick again. Arrange your paper on your composition. Oh, what's a composition? A composition is how the paper is laid out on your board. Arrange your composition like you want before you glue anything down. That way, if you want to make any changes or move papers around, you can do that easily. So arrange your composition how you like. Try to make it balanced. What is balance? Balance means equal. Instead of putting all my paper and design on this side, I spread it evenly around the paper. So I made a balanced picture or composition. You can move it around, glue it down, and then when you're done, as in the first piece of art we created, turn it around and cut off your edges. So when you're working, your papers can go over the edge and you don't have to worry about it. But when you're done, get your scissors, cut your edges off nicely for a nice clean look. Oh, and look what I did to make my composition a little different. I left the burlap hanging over the edge. I left the straw hanging over the edge, and another red piece of paper right down here that goes right over the edge, just to make it more interesting. The next piece of art that I want to show you that is a collage as well is this piece here. I created this by just rolling up pieces of paper into a tube. Take the corner and roll your paper and glue the tube shut. And I made several tubes and glued them down on this piece of paper. After you're done rolling and gluing and they're all the way off the edges, Just like in the other collage, you snip, 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 and cut your edges, and you have a nice, beautiful, clean look. Now, one of the beautiful things about these collages is you can incorporate tubes into this for texture. You can roll newspaper to add texture to this. Another thing that I could suggest is you can go outside. Go outside and collect sticks and leaves, grass, and even dirt. You can create a collage from nature. You can go through your drawers that have a lot of junk in them. Look through there, see what you can pull out. If you don't have newspaper, if you don't have magazines, be creative. Can you use tissue? Can you use napkins? Try it. And the last collage that I want to show you is this one. And this was only one type of material, magazines. I created this by tearing pieces of magazines and gluing it down to the piece of paper. In the next segment, I'm going to show you how we created this very easy composition. And here is my final product, which is our collage made from magazines. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day and keep on creating.